So hey guys, welcome back to another video, and in this video we are going to talk about open source software. So this is one of those candid videos that I'm posting these days, and this video is one of the most demanding videos that I got from my viewers and all the polls that I had and from my Discord server. If you don't know about my Discord server, you can join it, link is in the description. The invite link is there, you can join it. It's a community of like 100 members or something, where we talk all about these things. So this is one of the most required video for the community, because as you guys know that I am posting a lot of polls these days, and a lot of polls are scheduled because I just design whatever I need to know from you guys, and I just figure out like what kind of questions should I ask, so that I get the answers from you people, and I get to know about my community, like what do you guys want to see and what kind of spots that I'm seeing that it's my responsibility to fill them out. So open source is one of those. Like I had a poll on open source, like how many people know about open source, how many people use open source, and all the questions that I am having from my other episodes. So I thought it's really necessary for me to talk about this, all the programs that are going on and what you should do, how you should do it. And I'm going to start it from the basic, like from the zero part. I'm not going to like give just an example of what is happening. I will show you some open source project or something. That's not the case. I will start from zero, and I will take you to a level where you will know, okay, like what's happening around the world and what's happening in the open source world, and how you can work with it, how you can join them, and how you can contribute to the projects, and what kind of mentorship programs that you should join as a working professional, or you are a student or a university student, or anything you want to do. So again, this is a candid video. I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know what I'm going to read or something. This is not scripted or anything. I just have a Google Docs screen in front of me, which has all the important points that I need to talk about. So this video is all about open source projects. So first of all, I should give you a brief introduction about what is open source, and I will give it in a contrast of what is a closed source project. So open source projects are the projects that have their code open to the public. Now, whenever you install a software, either you can have access to its source code, or you can't have access to the source code. Now, if you use operating system like Windows, you will never see its source code, because they will not allow you to. Actually cracking the code of Windows is actually illegal due to their license, and they don't allow it. This is because it's a proprietary software. These proprietary softwares are something that are built inside the company. They will ship it to you, they will sell it to you, you will buy it as a product, install it there, and you will work with it. So that is something which is a closed source. But in open source, like if you use Linux, you can see its source code. Now, what is the reason? Why should you see the source code? Now, when the whole community sees the source code, you have the flexibility to modify it as per you want. Like if you are a good programmer or something, if you are good with coding, or if you are good with understanding what's happening behind the bars, and if you have a certain requirement, you are allowed to modify it and use it for yourself, or distribute to the community, or do anything with it depending upon what kind of license it has. So open source projects have their whole source code open to the internet. Like people can go there and see the whole source code, and depending upon the license that is attached to it, they can modify it or distribute it. This is something about the license we are going to talk later in this video. So this is like a brief introduction to what open source is. Now, what happens with open source is, whenever you are trying to use open source software, first of all, you have the peace of mind that you know what is your computer going to run. Like if you're using Linux, you will see that what the source code of Linux looks like, so you exactly know what your computer is going to run. So if you are a kind of software engineer or a security analyst, you can obviously spot wherever the issues are, like if there is a tracker, or if there is a vulnerability or something. Or even if you are not a software engineer, or even if you are not a coder or something, there are other people in the community who are like working on the project itself. If somebody does an issue, if somebody does some malicious stuff, obviously they are going to spot it out, and they are going to tell the whole community, like there is a bug in this line, or there is a vulnerability, or there is a tracker or something, and the whole community will know. So it's not like you are always required to know the whole source code, or you should always be scrolling and learning about how everything works. It's not the case. This is something that all the community members are going to be online. Like if you see Linux, thousands of people are working on it, tens and thousands of people are aware of its source code and they are viewing it, finding bugs, security vulnerabilities. So whenever these kind of vulnerabilities or anything is going to arrive, these people are going to be the first to report it to the whole community, like this is the issue, or these are the people who are going to solve it. This is not with the case of closed source projects. Closed source project is something that is managed by the company itself. So for example, Windows operating system is something that is managed by Microsoft. So whatever vulnerabilities would be found, whatever things would be found, whatever new features would be given, everything would be given by the Windows community. Like not community, it's not a community, it's a college, it's a company itself. So that company is going to deal with this. But whenever you find any kind of vulnerabilities into Windows or anything by chance, by doing some kind of dynamic analysis or something on the operating system, and if you find some kind of error in there, you are going to know it and you can either report it to them, which is a very good practice, you should do it. And there are people who are going to do a malicious use of it. So this is something that goes dangerous in that side, and it is going to happen with open source also. But the good news is, even if the company doesn't spot the vulnerability and if people find the vulnerability, in the closed source itself, these people can do anything with it. Like if they can report it, get a bug bounty or something, or they can use it for evil purposes. But in sense of open source, if somebody finds it out, there are other people who are going to find it out someday or another. It will not take much time, and since these tens of thousands of people are always onto the source code, there are most chances that these people are going to find it. So whatever software you are running, you know what the source code is, so you have freedom of using the software. Like if you have bought a computer yourself, you should know like what the computer is running, because it's your intellectual property. Like it's not intellectual, it's your own property. Like if you're using MacBook or something, you will never know like what is running inside it, because the everything inside it, like the M2 processor itself, it's also closed source, and this whole operating system is closed source. So whatever you run on top of it is not going to be something that you will be aware of. You will be only given some amount of tools and some amount of features that you can use to just use your computer. But if you are using some kind of open source hardware, if you are using open source software, then everything which is happening is exposed to you, and now you are only limited with your coding skills or your programming skills or how you understand the system itself. So yeah, these are the some benefits of using open source software. This is how open source works, and this is how closed source is working on its own way. So open source is like free. Okay, it's free as in freedom. So there are a lot of open source projects around the world. So there are a lot of indie developers, or there are a lot of companies who just host their open source project because they want to open out their project itself. They want people to contribute, they want to show the source code, they want the whole community to benefit, anything related to that. So there are a lot of projects that are on GitHub or GitLab or anywhere they host, and if they license it with an open source software, you are free to contribute to it. So open source contribution is all about finding bugs, proposing new features, or kind of developing it towards the direction that those people want you to go with. Like you can do anything there. You can even work with documentation if you are good with that. You can write readmes, you can do UI UX if you want to contribute to the designs of the software. If you are good at programming, you can contribute to that thing. This is something that is going to be with open source. This is actually not with the case of source with closed software, because that is something that the company is going to work on it. So you, unless and until you join that company and get access to the source code or are being assigned that work, you are not going to ever go into that development part. But in open source, you are free to find which project you fit in, which community you fit in, whichever thing you are good at, and you can go there and start contributing there with anything. You find a bug, fix it. There is issues tab or something where people are publishing their issues, like they have these kind of issues, that kind of issues. So you can go ahead and just solve those issues for them, and just do your contribution, commit to the code and upload it to the get a PR to the request, and you can just push it to them. Then you will be added as a contributor. So this is how you can just grow into that community. Like time to time you will be recognized by the maintainers, you will be recognized by the people there, and this is how you are going to mix with them, and everything is happening there. So this is how open source contribution works in a nutshell. You can like go ahead and it's much better to go ahead on some open source repos, like Linux is there, and some tools like Docker or Kubernetes. These things are open source, so you can go ahead and check out the source code, check out the issues tab. You can see the issues and can propose new features, fix bugs, find bugs, everything. If you're a security person, UI UX developer, there is a lot of scope that you can work with. Now let's talk about what licensing is. Like when there are open source projects, chances are it is being bind with a license. So I will give an example about what licenses are. There is a license called GPL license, which is GNU public license. So GNU public license is something that is issued by the GNU people. So if you have an open source project, you can just download the text and have it in the license license file, and you can paste it there, and now it's yours. So GPL license says that you can have the source code which is in front of you, which is in front of your Git, like you can see on your screen. You have a GitHub repository, and there you can see the code. You can make full use of the code. Whatever modifications you want to do, you can do it. Whatever you want, you can do it. You can edit the source code, you can use it for yourself, and even you can distribute it. Not only like if they have a project and it's going good, but you think that there is something that can be more better, but they are not accepting the contribution because that doesn't align with them. But you are a stubborn person, you just make something out of it and it works really good. You can distribute it yourself as your own property. But the catch here is GPL license prohibits you from using this source code that you have edited for commercial purposes. Like you can't now use the source code for commercial purposes, or they will sue you, or it's not allowed, it's illegal in that case. So the important thing here is GPL license says that whatever freedom we provided you while providing the source code to you, the same freedom you should provide while distributing this source code with modifications, without modifications or anything. MIT license, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology license, is a bit more flexible. Like these projects allow you to modify the source code and use it in commercial purposes and use that kind of stuff, make money out of it. They don't have any kind of issues with it. So in that kind of projects you can do it. So yeah, these are the open source licenses. There are more licenses like Creative Commons license, or there are more like OpenBSD license. You can check it out by seeing it. So this is how licensing works on the software. Closed source code also has like those products have their own licensing. If you have installed Windows or something like that, those are closed source, so you have to accept a license for that, and that says that you can't reverse engineer the source code of it, because that is something illegal and that goes beyond their business model. So this is how this whole open source ecosystem is working. The important part is you might have a question that some companies have their own open source projects and how they are making money out of it. Now there might be two types of companies. Like there is Microsoft, there is Google, or those people who have their closed source software out there, and they also host some open source projects. Like Go is a language that has been created by Google and they have open sourced it, and there is another language of TypeScript which is made by Microsoft and they have open sourced it. But here not only for languages, it's also for like different tools. Like Kubernetes is made by Google with their internal engine, which is Borg, and they made Kubernetes out of it, and it's open source, so you can go ahead and contribute to it, use it, just check out the license of it, and you can do whatever you want with it when you comply with the license itself. But the important part here is whenever you are working with this, you should know about that there are some companies that host open source project not only for this purpose. Like they create the open source project not only just for distributing it. Like you can use it, like there is a very popular open source project called Flipped, or you can talk about Ubuntu or something. They provide free software out there. They have their own code, they have the source code open, you can use it, you can deploy it, you can use it in your own way, you can contribute to it. I have personally contributed to Flipped, which is a feature flag management software. I contributed to it for the installation script by making it POSIX compliant. You can go ahead and contribute to it, and there are a lot of projects. But these companies earn by creating their model where they provide services to other companies. Like if you are using Flipped, so Flipped is something that you can use on your own company if you deploy it, or if you can manage the deployment part of it. no support is provided from the flipped community, not community, from the flipped people, the company that is been hosting the project and investing the resources and like doing a lot of work on it. They wouldn't help you. The community is going to help you, everything related to that is going to help you, but they are not going to help you with this. So if you purchase the service like the deployment service or something, you are the premium member, so they are going to like help you out with that. So this is something how those people make money. Like Ubuntu, Canonical Systems distributes Ubuntu systems. Like Ubuntu has to be GPL licensed, so they just have to give the source code out and they have to allow other people to build upon it. But they provide their own services of setting Ubuntu enterprise servers here and there. Red Hat also does that. So this is something how they make money. Like they deal with the companies and they tell them like, okay, we are going to deploy everything for you and you don't have to worry about this, we are going to manage everything. So this is how these companies are making money, and this is how you can also start your own company that does all this open source stuff and all this. Hopefully this is clear. So now the important part, if you are a university student or a working professional also, there are many programs out there, and I had a poll on this and I got to know that not a lot of people know about this. Like it was shocking for me. So I need to make you aware of this. There are programs like Google Summer of Code, which is called GSOC. There is LFX, which is from Linux Foundation, which is also a Linux Foundation, also provides mentorship programs for it. And they also have another people have by the Bitcoin community, it is the SOB, which is Summer of Bitcoin. So etc. There are a lot of programs, you can go ahead and check it out. These are some of the good programs. So what this program does is, for example, I will tell about GSOC because I personally got accepted into GSOC. So what we are doing is, what GSOC does is, Google gathers some people like the organization, they invite organizations to list their projects there and have their projects into there, and they also invite students, and these days they also allow working professionals to come into that, and they can apply for GSOC there, and they can contribute their proposals, talk with the mentors, contribute to it, and they then get selected for the program, and they are then are GSOC people, who GSOC contributors, where they work on a project for a term. They do midterm evaluation, final term evaluation, and stipends are paid by Google themselves to support the work of these people and to accelerate the students and professionals that are working on this. And this is how the company gets benefited. Google like accelerates this stuff as a catalyst, and students are benefited from this. So GSOC is like a very nice thing to do. It gives you a lot of exposure, it gives you like lot of time and freedom to work on this stuff while you are learning from these mentors who are really great, who will really help you out, and you will be building something that is going to be deployed into the real world. So yeah, it is very nice programs. Like if you are into open source for enough amount of time, if you follow all the stuff that I told you now, you can go ahead and apply to these organizations. You can work hard, you can apply to them. LFX is also awesome. They deal with a lot of Linux kernel stuff and a lot of cool projects that are coming there. You can apply to it. Everybody has their different procedures. SOB, Summer of Bitcoin, is also a great one. They do a lot of stuff in the blockchain part, even the embedded part, which I didn't know prior to this, but then I got to know because of a selection of one of my friends. And then there are a lot of projects that they mention there, and you just have to submit your proposal, and it's like competitive environment is going on there, so you have to work hard for this. So it is open for college students. GSOC, at least for GSOC, I know that it's open for college students, and it's also open for working professionals now, because a lot of professionals also want to get into open source and want to contribute and work under mentors to just get more exposure to what happens in the open source world. So once again, I will tell about using open source programs. Like a lot of people know me that I use Arch and all. Currently I have a MacBook. I'm at my home because I came from my university and I need a laptop that has these things like computational power enough, and this just does my job of recording and everything, and battery life is again great and awesome, so I use this. But there are reasons, like I use Arch most of the time when I'm on my main desktop. So this is something that I always prefer. So open source projects provides you security, and it provides you the freedom, which is really necessary, I think, which is the most important part. So security and all, so you have total control of your computer. Nobody is going to run some vague software there. You have whole access to whatever you can see. Modifications are available, and you can, if you contribute to the project itself, you are going to feel good about the fact that you are using it. So yeah, this is all about open source, and this was all about that. I wanted to talk about this whole system and how open source is going on. Hopefully this video will make you understand, like, it's a very nice place to work, and it's going to add a lot of credibility, and it's going to, you know, make you yourself proud of it. And it's so awesome, like a whole community is working on something that is going to be used by a lot of people, and hopefully this video will help you be a part of it. So okay, that was all from my side. Bye bye.